Welcome to Project Love Global. I am Priscilla Ramcharan, the founder here in Pennsylvania, and I have a beautiful guest today to share her work and her company and everything that we need to know. So please welcome Diane. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Diane. I'm the founder and CEO of Photopad for Business, and we're an easy-to-use design tool for small businesses, entrepreneurs, or anyone that wants to create beautiful visual stories using their photos and creating photo stories of your business, of your activities, photo blogs, graphics, and more. And then with a click, share it to social media. And we launched this because as a small business owner, I needed an easy to use tool to create all my marketing content in stories, because stories connect and get us an emotional attachment and get customers to really know who we are.
I love it. Well, welcome to our
Thank
channel.
you.
Welcome to our Project Love family. As you know, Project Love has been utilizing Photopad for our pen pal program virtually and connecting students around the world. So it's been such a savior and a fabulous tool. It's been fun for everyone. So I thank you for sharing it with me.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing it with your different programs. And I loved what they did, Project Love, and then what they did for Valentine's Day, and they spread the love that way. That was really fun.
It really was. And I know you mentioned you needed a platform to help you with your marketing and creating your content. Was there
Yes.
anything more that motivated you to create Photopad?
Well, actually, it kind of like fell into this accidentally because I was a social worker for 20 years. And the
Oh,
things that I know is that I like to help people and I look at problems and solve them. And originally, I launched Photopad as a consumer app when photos were just now populating on Facebook. So I was a
oh.
Facebook app and I grew it to 250,000 users when Instagram came out. And what made me realize was that everybody was using photos to tell stories, but they were posting just a photo or a couple
Hmm.
photos. And businesses needed to tell their stories now. And then they started using us. But what we found was being inside of Facebook was very confining.
Mm.
So we needed to move outside to the web and use Facebook as our distribution tool and other social media channels so that they can reach a wider audience, save money, and to save time as well. And to know that they don't need to do fancy, beautiful in the sense of graphic design that doesn't really reflect who they are.
Hmm.
And we wanted that to be, and which is really what that I'm about, very authentic, memorable, telling stories. And that's what our core value is of Photopad. And we want to empower especially women business owners to
Hmm.
use it as a marketing tool to help them spread the word of who they are as a business. Though that, yeah, that's how it all started. Was I was a social worker and I forecasted that we needed something for small businesses. And so the spark grew, and then small businesses started using it and it was giving me feedback. And then it just kept growing and growing from there.
That's
So,
amazing. What a fantastic story. And now you can add nonprofits to your
yes,
plethora of
yes.
users.
Thank you. Yes, and nonprofits, it's a really good platform to use because not only because it's free, but it's very simple and it helps tell your story. And you need
Yeah.
to tell the story because nonprofits have tons of stories to tell, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited for you and for
Thank
us
you. Yes,
to
I
be
am
able
too,
to
and
use it.
I really appreciate you became part of one of our projects where you created a photo collage. It doesn't take very much to share about
Yeah.
who you are in a collage, even, and so that was really cool.
Awesome. So, what inspires you each day to wake up and get to work and accomplish your
Yeah.
daily tasks?
Well, besides the fact that I always had high energy, and when I believe in something, I have that passion that wakes up and goes after it, to continue to build on it, to continue to learn what are the needs of the small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
what do they need to be seen and heard and connect with their audience. Because with social media, it's become the number one place
Mm-hmm.
to market, but there's also everybody else is in that same boat. So there's a million photos uploaded daily. Maybe it's
Right.
even at a billion now. How do you stand out? And so that is constantly on my mind. How do I help them? How do I help them stand out? And so that's what wakes me up, is we continue to grow our user base, and we just released our second version of our software, but most
Mm.
importantly is our next version, which hopefully will be done by the end of the year, which will make it even easier for small businesses, so that they're going to look at it as a tool that is not a burden. Like, oh, I have to do marketing. It's a tool that they're going to wake up and be as passionate as I am to say, oh my God, this is super simple. I'm going to just put it in and we're going to deliver design. So as we continue to look how we can make this a seamless process, that keeps me going.
I love it, and congratulations. You do have to consistently upgrade, update to
Yes.
meet the current trends, etc. So that's fabulous. And
Yes.
I will put your link below. It'll just be
Okay, perfect. Pad.co.
photopad.co.
Yeah.
Yes.
CO. Yep.
And your Instagram and everywhere that you can find Diane.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. You know what's
Perfect.
really also wakes me up in the morning is um the resilience of failure. Like we talk about some of the bigger businesses that formed the market in my space,
Hmm.
is how important it is to set an example for other small businesses. Just because there's other competitors who are bigger, have succeeded quicker, doesn't mean they shouldn't keep going. So I'm always trying to be an inspiration to others, because I started this later in life.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm just revving up, while others are retiring. It's about
Good.
keeping it going, keeping the
Yeah.
momentum, keeping what you believe to be so inside you, and building that inner confidence. Just keep going.
I love it. And I love your daily posts, your quotes. They're so beautifully colored and structured. And,
Yes.
when I see it, I'm like, yes, have a great day and, inspire
Yes.
others. So I love the positivity that radiates just from your post alone. You can,
Right.
embrace the genuine messages that you're sharing. I
Thank
really
you.
love
Right.
it. You're
It's what I
welcome.
want to do. Exactly.
Message received.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So, what would be your message to our viewers, to our women entrepreneurs, business owners, now nonprofit founders? What would you want to leave with the audience?
Well, surround yourself with people who are positive in your life, who want to see you succeed. Wake up and take time for yourself before the day starts. Small businesses were constantly facing challenges. And, I know that we're out of COVID, but we're in post-COVID, and the
Right.
challenges continue to be there. So find a way, whether it's walking, whether it's having a cup of coffee, and just be in the moment with yourself. Moments are so important. Find those during the day as well. If you're struggling, find a mentor or a coach or a friend who you can just problem solve with. It is not unusual to take some days off because you have hit a roadblock or feel like, what am I going to do? And just know that we're all there and we're in this together. And I always say that when you're alone, you don't succeed, but when you're surrounded by people, it's more powerful, and the power of the energy of everybody around you. And it can
Indeed.
feel lonely, it can really, we were talking about this past weekend, how entrepreneurship can feel lonely. And if you're feeling that way, that's a signal to find people to be around and to let go of people who don't make you feel good. And that's a hard thing to do, because family and friends don't understand per se. And you need to find somebody that's in the industry or a supportive person in your family that does understand. And I think that's really important. You know, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it reminded me of how the struggle, the depression, and the suicide is real among entrepreneurs.
True.
And I just want that message out there, because they can call 988. They can reach out to anybody who they feel like is a true friend, or somebody just who can be supportive, because we're here. We all are struggling, even when it looks good, even when I have a positive message, sometimes behind it, I like to be positive. So I write positive messages, even when I don't feel good, because it reminds me too. So that message is not only for you, but also for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
really
So
well
that's
said.
what I
And
wanted to
thank you
leave
for
with
the
them.
reminder. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you 100%. Sitting by yourself and just sitting in your mind,
Oh,
going over things is actually more draining energetically than if you reach out to someone who, like you said, is like-minded. And the folks who aren't too like-minded, you can still learn something
right.
from them or even teach them something. So,
Exactly.
don't give up too easily.
No, don't give up. Right. Exactly. And sometimes it just makes a turn in your business. I know so
Right.
many people that hit rock bottom, and I love those stories, that hearing those stories, because they talk about how they turned it around, and it took one
Hmm.
person or somebody they decided to call that they hadn't talked to in a long time, who, helped them kind of brainstorm it, and then it just took off from there. So that's, really cool.
That is so nice. And your gut will tell you whether
Yeah.
you're on the right path, whether or not to make that phone call. If, your brain is screaming, no, then probably don't do it.
Exactly. And I have to say, I know we were kind of closing out, but real quickly,
Go
when I
ahead.
first started, I talked to a lot of the big CEOs, because I was on a mission to find out how did they succeed. And it was a common thread that some of them took 20 years. And I'm going to reference Starbucks, because the funny thing was, I was meeting there, and I had a meeting with an angel investor that had turned them down for coffee when they first started 20 years prior.
Okay.
And I just happened coincidentally to be meeting with the investor, and he was retired at this point, but he was meeting with startups, and we joked about it, because I didn't know that about Starbucks, that here in Seattle, the angel investor group had turned him down and said no one's going to buy a $5 cup of coffee. And you see where Starbucks is today.
Well, yeah.
It started in 1972, I think, or 71, but look at where they're today. You didn't hear about them back then. You didn't hear about them too much in the 80s, maybe starting in the 90s. Now they're part of our daily life. So people
Hmm.
have to remember that. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're
And
saying.
yeah, when somebody says no, it maybe isn't the right person.
That's what it is.
And
Exactly.
And I have to remember that every day too. When you ask me what gets me up, what gets me going, is those stories. So I
Oh,
like listening to different podcasts that to help change that mindset. Because you
yes.
sparked me when you said that about the mindset. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get inside your head.
Exactly. And sometimes it's just switching a word
Yes,
or flipping the whole sentence,
yes,
making a positive twist and just telling yourself it's okay. You're doing
yes,
great in the moment. And
yes,
maybe right now this isn't what is meant for you, but timing is everything and it'll always work out.
yes,
Awesome.
exactly. Yes,
Well,
thank you so much.
thank you too, Diane, for hopping on, for
Thank you.
sharing your Photopad opportunity and for, just being a part of our circle with Project Love. And we
Oh,
hope
thank
to have
you.
you. You're welcome. We do
You
hope
have
to
a
have you back when you
wonderful
have your
thing.
updates on your
Yeah.
platform to share and everything.
Well, thank you. I can hardly wait.
Thank you too. Say
All right, take
bye-bye.
care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.